thinking back on it, I'm like, man, I went through a lot just trying to hide this situation. I didn't even know what it was. And over time, the hair just kept getting, it was just more and more hair coming over time, over time, over time. I didn't know what kind of condition this was. I never knew what the name was. I didn't find out until maybe like 17 that I might have had like PCOS, because eventually I just went to the doctor. And I was like, look, like, is there something that you guys could do? Like, it's gotten from my neck to now it's on my jawline and my chin. Like, this is getting like out of hand. And so I did the test to see if my hormones were balanced, which they were. So at that time, the only thing that a doctor could do for me was prescribe like a birth control or this medication called spironolactone. I looked into it. I'm really not trying to deal with that. Like, I was already against birth control pills because, like, that could be like a long-term issue going on with using that. And then with the spironolactone, maybe I'm saying it wrong, spironolactone, I looked into that as well, and you can have a lot of stomach and liver issues using that for long-term period. And I'm like, well, how long am I supposed to be using this in order to get this hair under control? Am I supposed to be doing this forever? Like, I know this is like an internal thing, maybe a genetic thing, but it just was like, I don't know. I gotta find something else. So anyway, after those tests that I've done, I looked online, doing online searches to see what's causing this excessive hair other than genetics, right? And I came across PCOS. I'm like, well, I don't know if I have that, but I'm guessing that's something that I may have. That's something that the doctor said or mentioned that I might have as well. And he also mentioned like women who have PCOS also may have fertility issues. So because we see that you have excessive facial hair, you may not be able to produce produce a baby, or you might not be as fertile as you think you are. So I'm like, now y'all telling me I might not have no kids. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm not thinking about nobody anyway. I don't have a relationship because of this issue, and kids is like the last thing on my mind. So that's just what it is. One day I decided to do some more research. I have looked into laser, but based off of what I found, like most of the lasers, the types of lasers that were available at the time, like I didn't know all of them, but from what I was seeing was more for like Caucasian women or women of really light complexion and straight dark hair. Like it wasn't going to work for red hair, gray hair, blonde hair, whatever the case. Like, but you had to be a certain complexion and have a certain hair type in order to use whatever lasers were available. And if you didn't fit that criteria, then you were just bound to be burned. I've looked at a lot of stories where women of color would just be burned by these lasers. I don't know if it was laser itself or the tech or whatever, but I was like, look, I'm already dealing with these spots. I'm not trying to have no deep scars to deal with as well. And I definitely don't want more hair growing back, because that was another thing I was hearing, like more hair grows back when you were using certain types of lasers. I'm like, well, we were going to scratch that off the list, and I'm going to see if there's another way. So I came across another method called electrolysis. So look, you guys, electrolysis, for me, I did over 30 hours. I always say that I did over 30 hours. I'm sure it's like maybe 35, 30, maybe even 36 some hours, right? That was an expensive process for my hair to have come back. I don't know if it was the tech who did it or what, but after like doing that and seeing that the hair was still coming, and then I had more after that, I feel like it stimulated the growth. Not to say that it doesn't work. I'm sure it does. It just did not work for me. Maybe, like I said, maybe it was where I was going. I don't know. But that was the thing that broke the camel's back. I'm like, I'm still dealing with these scars. I'm still having to deal with this hair. It's more hair than I had dealt with. At this point, like it's almost like my sideburns are now connected to my jawline. Like it was getting crazy. I'm like, what am I gonna do? my first crush is moving here to California. We were dating and he noticed that I had makeup on my neck. He asked me, like, he's like, why do you wear that on your neck? Your neck looks like a Crunch bar looking like with this makeup on. I'm like, oh, so now you see that too. I'm thinking I'm hiding it and I'm not. And he sees it. I'm like, man, I just failed. I don't know what else to do. And here I am over the years wearing this makeup and I'm messing up all my shirt collars. Any kind, I couldn't wear white just because I'm over here trying to hide my neck. So he saw that and I wiped it away. And he said, I explained to him what I had. I told him that I grow facial hair. I shave it. I pluck it. It just gets worse over time. And he told me how to get rid of at least the ingrown hair. So I cannot thank him enough for helping me with the tips that he gave me. He said, this is how my dad showed me how to do it. This is why I don't have that issue and you could do it too. So I started doing it and lo and behold, those ingrown hairs started to go away. The spots started to fade. So the next thing was that I just got to deal with this hair again. So they gave me some kind of relief. I felt like there was a lot of weight just uplifted off of my shoulders. That was now 2 things checked off the list. Okay, now I know how to fade these spots and I know how to get rid of this ingrown hair. Because, when it comes down to it, I don't know if a lot of you could, feel what I'm feeling as far as, is it the hair that's worse or is it the spots? For me, it was more of the spots. The hair you could kind of notice, but them spots, those dark spots, those black spots, that is hard. That is so hard to try to get rid of.